that one question, they opened up so much. And Michael was specifically the beneficiary of one of those nice "Why Are You Single" stories. So that is why last summer we started a podcast that specifically talked about dating and singleness and relationships in the Adventist church. I don't know about you, but there are a lot of us who are single. Is anybody here single? Can you raise your hands for a second? See, there's quite a few of us here. I get it. But
tell the truth. Don't hide.
Safe space.
Safe space. But the truth is that we haven't really been having conversations about the nuances and the different parts that come with being single as an Adventist, because we have different quirks to us that other people just don't have. So my name is Josue, just so you all know. This is my sister Abby, and this is my buddy Mike. I'm in the design field. Abby here is in the mental health field, and Mike here is in the medical field. And the three of us, we had been just sitting down for the last year, since last year, and we had been talking about the issues and the things that come with being single. So we decided to, why not? And we just probably should go ahead and start recording this and make a production. So.
Yeah, so this podcast actually, even though it's been around for a year, it's been a couple years in the making. So me and my brother, we talk a lot, and we talk about issues in relationships, and I'm a psych major, so I learned lots about relationships and what everything it entails. So we talked about how it's not talked about in the Adventist space. So we wanted to provide a space that allows Adventist young adults to discuss modern dating and all the different challenges that come with it. And you would think, what does dating have to do with evangelism? And it has a lot, because I talk to a lot of my friends who are not Christian or Adventist, and I'm like, hey, I'm in a podcast and it's about dating. And we're all young here, and dating is a hot topic. So they listen to it, and they ask me questions about the Adventist church. They ask me questions about dating in general from our perspective, and it's a way to plant the seed. And this is a ministry for that. So our young adults are getting educated by the media, and we in the church, we need to start providing a space to discuss these conversations in a Christ-centered way, because
Amen.
The media has a whole bunch of content out there, and it's not God-centered. No wonder that we're having so many issues. So that's why we created this podcast.
That is correct.
And after the first season, we saw that there actually was a need. Now we're in the top 45% of podcasts. And actually, we have a 68% of women and 32% of men. Yeah, so it shows the dynamics are true. There are more women than there are men. So we are in the whole U.S., from the West Coast to the East Coast, in North America, Europe, and South America. And we are just hoping to start a conversation. We are not experts. Like he said, we're all single, but at the same time, it is time that we as a church start actually discussing these things, not just saying, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, just find a guy that does this, and it's Christian. There's so much more to it, and we need to start talking about it.
Yeah, and I want to, really emphasize that point that we are not experts. I know I am not an expert by any means, but yeah, we've had a lot of good episodes and discussions that we've talked about this first season. The first season we did was last year. We talked about doing the internal work, so it's just kind of what does it mean to be single? How does that look? What are some of the advantages to it? The challenges of singlehood. And so we've had a lot of good discussions on that. What was the other thing? Another thing was God's timing, spiritual preparation. We talk about...
And interestingly enough, and I just kind of have it just in there hidden, but the internal work, which is the mental health part of being single, was one of our most listened to episodes in the entire season, which is something we did not anticipate. But apparently there was really a need for people to, I guess, get that information and just be heard, I guess. Mm-hmm. So, and then this season.
Yeah. This season, we've transitioned from being single to it now actually preparing ourselves for dating. So, we want to know what that looks like. Who should I date? Can we date non-Adventists? handling rejection. We haven't gotten to that one yet. And some more spicy topics, homosexuality, sexual desires. We'll try to hit those without getting canceled. So, just pray for us, like I said. We're also, going to try to bring in, more, guests and things like that. I'm going to say one of the guests on our podcast is actually here. You've probably met him, and there's another really famous one that some of you probably know. So just keep stay tuned, and just continue to follow us.
Yeah. So apart from that, we're doing a whole lot more. So remember how I told you that a year ago I asked those beautiful young ladies, "Why are you single?" So we are going to actually start a new series, which is, again, called Why Are You Single? And what we do in that series is that we sit down with Adventist young adults and we hear the stories of why they're single. And it's not as clear cut as one might think. So I'm curious to hear those stories. Like, for example, like my story. I've dated before, and it's been long distance, and in the process I learned an entirely new language, which is Dutch. Now, I've forgotten a whole lot of it, and I met the guy in the elevator yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, I'm from the Netherlands," and I say with that accent because I hear it so often, and I could speak it so well, but I still do. I was super excited about it, and then I talked to him a little bit, and then I sat down right there, and I told Abby, I was so embarrassed, I forgot almost all the Dutch I do, and as soon as I was put to the test, I was humiliated. But the other point that we are going to talk about is we're not just going to sit with individuals and hear their stories. We're actually going to talk to young adults as a group and hear what insights they have to say, the things that they're experiencing. So that's going to be really exciting because there are, again, as a group, you hear a lot of things that you wouldn't if you were just on one-on-one. So I'm pretty excited about that too. And then, okay, I guess there are no more slides. But we are also premiering one new thing, which is, as a group, we are making ourselves available to ministries out there. So our new name, I guess, for that is called The Pursuit Live, where we help young adults and other professionals to just help them start the conversation about godly dating and relationships, to know like what issues that need to be talked about and that need to be touched on, et cetera, et cetera. You can hit us up on social media or on our website to go ahead and do that. And then there are 4 ways that you can actually help this ministry. So the first way is to actually tune in. So if you pull out your phones, so everybody got their phone, you can actually get, there's a little QR code there where you can subscribe and or find the podcast. And you can tune in on Mondays, and specifically this Monday, the episode is called How Do I Get to Know Someone? That episode is with our first guest that we have this season, and that's Greg Taylor. Many of you know him and his wife, Kimberly, so we're pretty excited about that. Doc, what is the other way that they can help?
The other way you can help is to follow us on all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and just share your thoughts. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know any ideas that you have because, like my brother said, this is to start a conversation, to get the ball rolling. So we need your support in that.
That is correct. And again, that's everywhere, thepursuit.bs for Bearstone, which is the production company.
Yeah. And another way you can help, we're also on Instagram and Facebook and everything, so just follow us. It helps us grow and everything like that. But another way you can help is, we need help. It's a lot of work. Obviously, YouTube and everything, it takes a lot of time editing. Josue does pretty much 90% of like the editing and stuff like that. So he doesn't get a lot of sleep.
Not these days.
But if you have any skills, like I said, if you want to help us out with the ministry, if you're good in editing, come and talk to us, okay? We'd like to use you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for your time. And also the last way that you can help us, if you're single, hit us up. So.